Hello students. So now in this session we will see how we can install the Android Studio. I have created a fresh Windows 10 virtual machine. There is nothing installed, only just install the Windows, and we will see that what are how we can install the Android Studio in it and how we can start using it. Okay, the first thing is first. So let me share your screen. So I will just open some Internet Explorer, or where we can use whatever you want. So uh, just need to go to the internet. So what we are trying to do here, open that particular specific Firefox, and then we want to use that particular specific, like I just put that into Firefox Android Studio, and when we run it, so you can see that we have the Android Studio SDK, we have Android Studio, that is the IDE. So we can just click on that first link that appears on it, and now you can see that it will give you a download link. So we are talking about a Windows 64-bit, so we can say that click on the download, and then of course you need to accept the terms and conditions, and once you are accepted the terms and conditions, you can start downloading. So it will start that particular specific download, and we want to save the file. Yes, that particular specific download go into my download folder. So let it download first. Yeah, it is downloaded, so let me, almost there. Show me the downloads. So it is there, it is downloaded. So if I just double click on that one, let me go to the, so we have to go into the our downloads folder. A little bit slow, so we have Android Studio is still in the process, I suppose. So we have downloaded, so let me open this one. So when we are trying to open it, it will take some time before it can, yeah, so it will ask you that you want to allow that particular specific application to change your device. Yes, we want to, because we want to install. Then you click on the next. Here you have, like, we are talking about that Android virtual device, so we want to add that one here. Yes, so we location where we are going to install it. So and then next, and then here it is saying that choose the start in any folder. Okay, do not, I mean, of course we want to say that yes, and now it is being installed. Okay, so it will take some time before it is installed, so let me pause this particular specific. Yeah, it's just still installing, so it will take some time. So once this particular specific install is done, I will start the video again. So now you can see that installation is complete, and it's asking me to click on the next, and now it shows that you want to start this Android Studio, and I say click finish, and once I finish, it will start that Android Studio for me. Okay, waiting for that Android Studio to come up. We have that Android Studio. Okay, so it's asking me to we don't want to configure because this is the new installation. So And then do you want to send? No, we don't want to share any kind of usage things with the Google. So now the first thing it is asking me to you that you set up a widget, Android Studio setup widget. So we say next. At this point we can develop the application for the watches, for computer, for the desktops or the laptops, for the cars, for the tablets, for the mobiles, and so on. A lot of things we can do here. Of course we want to go for the standard one. Next we want to select, I prefer the light one. Okay, and then which specific API do you want to this is what you can say that you like the SDK that you want to install at this particular specific time. Okay, so of course we can change it later on. Right now we can just say that select to the normal one, Android SDK, which is our already virtual devices, Android virtual device, or we have a performance fine API 32, the latest one, Android 10. It is going to install it, and then it also has, it will install a performance thing, and we want to have the Android virtual device. Okay, SDK, yeah, that's it. Okay, just keep it the default one, and then we will see that how we can add the things later on. And then you, at the end, we are just saying that to finish. It will again download those specific SDKs and set up all those emulators and everything, and that particular process is going on. It will take some time. So during that time we will pause that particular specific video and then come back later once it is done. See you. So that installation has been done. So if you look at that, there are a few things that are not being installed. It is more like, because it is a virtual machine within the Mac operating system, so it said that it does not support the nested virtual machine performance enhancement. So in any way we will see that what happens, but it has installed all the other things, like it has installed the SDK platform 30, that is the Android Studio 10. Okay, Android operating system 10, Android OS. So now once we are all done, we come up at that particular specific screen. So let me put that down. Okay, this one as well. So we are here. That is what is being shown over us today. So we can say that we want to start and look at that. It's a version 4.0.1, and make sure that you are using the same version, because all the software that all the code that I will share with you in during this course, they will be built on the same version. If you are using an earlier version before, I mean this is the latest one, if you are using some earlier version, then it may not open for you. So now, as I told you, that we have the Android virtual device manager, AVD manager. So let me click on that, and right now there is no virtual device which has been created. So let me see if we can do that. The reason is that I am already running it inside a virtual device within my Mac operating system. So let's see if we can do that. But this is how we can create a virtual device. If it is it does not, it is I mean there is no virtual device, then we can create something like this. So what we need to do, we need to select which one we want to have, a Wear, watch, or tablet, or the automotive, or the TV. But of course we are looking for the mobile phone, and in that mobile phone we can select that which specific size we require. I say that okay, Pixel 3, and then I say click next, and then we have that particular specific operating system. There is no operating system has been done. So let me download that Pi one. So once I say that yes, I accept the terms and conditions and go to the next, because we need that operating system to install into that virtual machine, and we don't have any, so we need to select one of them and then need to install it. I didn't go for the latest one, I just go for the last one, which is like Pi, which is 28, API number 28. We can also download the latest one, that is the Android Studio, Android operating system 10, or we can go for the Q, or okay, but I just selected reasonably 28th one, that is the Pi. And once it is still trying to download all those zip files and the operating system files, and it will download and then it will install it. Then once it is installed, it will be visible. We can select that particular specific operating system to install inside our virtual device. Okay, so let me pause and then come back to this video again once this operating system has been installed in a. So once that operating system has been installed, so it will ask us that it is finished, so we will click on the finish. So now if you look at that, it is giving me the option that I can select the Pi. It is already installed in our PC, and then we can install that particular specific operating system on our virtual device, and then I say next. And once I say next, it asks me to name that particular specific device. We can say that it is a Pixel 3 and Android Pi. So Pixel 3 Android Pi API 28, sorry. Yeah, okay, we can give any name whatever we want, but it is there. So we can see that it's a Pixel, what is the size of the screen, what is the operating system here. At the startup, or you want to keep it an orientation of the portrait or the landscape. We can also look at the other thing as for example, show advanced settings. When you go into the show advanced settings, then which camera you want to use for the embedding. So I have my webcam here, so we can select the webcam front or the back. Okay, and the visual scene back. Okay, fine. And then for the network, what the type of settings we require here, but how much memory we are putting over there, the storage place, how much like internal storage we are putting over this. So I mean, we can select all different type of, we can assign different resources to that particular specific virtual device which is going to run in our machine, and then at the end we are going to hit finish. So it's saying that that particular specific what you can say, the accelerator for the Android virtual device, it is not installed because I am running that particular specific Windows 10 as a virtual machine within my Mac. So that's why it is there. So it is giving you that it is recommended that you install it. But definitely if you are running in if you are installing that particular Android Studio on your own Windows 10 machine, then it will be automatically installed. So you don't need to worry much about that particular specific thing here. Click on the finish. Once you click on the finish, it created that particular specific virtual machine for me. And if I just try to, yeah, so we have that particular specific virtual machine. The name is there, it has a Play Store and all. So we can click on that particular specific button here, and then we can see that it says that could not start the Android virtual machine. Okay, he say that we need that particular specific accelerator to run that particular specific virtual machine. Okay, no, could not run that particular specific virtual machine. So what I can do, I can just show you quickly on my own PC. It is not working. So this is what you can say, that this is the installation of the Android Studio on my own Mac machine. So again, if I just go to the Android Virtual Manager, I have quite a few what you can say that let me okay, what I need to like keep that particular specific things smaller. It becomes very big, I suppose, when I transfer it into this screen over there. It's still very big, huh? So we have that particular specific. Okay, so let me bring it down. Okay, so we have a few, I have like quite a few machines here. So let me start this one. So when I start this one, it is starting that particular specific virtual machine for me. I just want to show you that how it looks like. Okay, so let me bring that particular specific. So once it is used, you can see that it will be a virtual device on your I just want to resize it. Okay, where is my resize button? No. Yeah, so these kind of things happen. Yeah, it is going to do that. So now you can see that this is the Android virtual device which will be running on your own PC once you have installed. Of course, it's a Pixel 2. Maybe the visual setting will be a little bit different for the Pixel 3 with the API number 28 that we have just created here. Okay, so that is how we can add virtual devices. We can add as many virtual devices as we want, or which are required, with different screen sizes, with different operating system inside, to test our application on different version of the Android operating system, and looking at how it look like on different what you can say that on different screen sizes, on different operating systems, versions of the Android, and how it looks like. So that is the possibility. So let's come back again. We seen the Android virtual device manager. Let me see the Android SDK manager. And now if I look at that, because we by default we have installed the Android 10 APIs, we can also say that we want to have the 10 API. We can also say that show me the details. So you can see the details here. So if you want to have that, we already have a 10. We have installed the 9 as well. So when you say apply, it will again automatically creating all those accept, next, and of course it will start downloading those particular specific SDKs that we have just selected extra, and then it will configure our Android system or Android Studio to work with those particular specific version of the Android SDKs. Okay, so let it finish. Let me pause this particular video and then come back to you again. So once this particular specific installation is done, we click on finish. So now you can say that we are saying click OK, and now we are back on our. So we can also have some other things here. For example, check for the updates. We can look at the plugins that we can use over here. Right now we are not looking into those things, but now we have done our installation. We have installed, we have added some SDKs inside our Android Studio. We also added a virtual device which is not running on that particular specific virtual machine which I am running right now, but yes, it is on your machines. It should be running without any issue. So now let me start with that particular specific, start a new Android Studio. Maybe I can show you something like this instead of, because it is not, we would not be able to run it. So let me start. Of course, in the beginning, if you go to that particular window, there is nothing here. You can't see any projects here, but definitely once you are created quite a few projects here, then you will be able to see those projects here. Right now in that particular specific thing, there is no project. So let me start a new project here. Okay, and then we can say that here the first screen is that you need to select a specific template for your activity. Remember that I'm saying that activity is a one screen that you design for your application. So you can select, I want to have a bottom navigation, you have a basic, you want to show some map. So right now I'm sticking to that empty screen. Okay, empty activity, and then you click next. Once you click next, it will ask you that what is the name of your application. So we can say that our first app. It is our first app. Then here you can need to provide that particular package name. I say that we have nz.ac.upol.business and ICT and then we have in the ICT, then we have D303 course, and this is week 01, and we say that first half. So what is the purpose of that package name? Of course, when you're developing your applications, you don't want to keep it in your computer only. You want to publicize on the Google Play Store, and you want to show the world that what you can do, and this is the great application that you have developed. So for that particular purpose, this particular specific, what you can say, that this package name should be the unique. Okay, let me copy this particular specific right now. We have this package name, and then that should be unique all over the world if you want to publish your application on the Google Play Store. So Google Play Store, definitely when you are saying that acnz.ac.ucall.becit, and then you give the username and your application name and so on, so it will become unique. If it is not unique, then of course Google Play Store will tell you, and then accordingly you need to change that particular specific package name, so in your project. And this is the location where you are going to save it. I will not going to change that particular specific location. It is going into my documents and Android Studio projects and our first application. And then here you can select the language, in which language you want to code or develop your project. So of course we are more interested in the Java as compared to Kotlin. And here we are saying that minimum SDK. Minimum SDK means the software development, the version which is the minimum version of the Android operating system which can run your application. So maybe we can say that it should be maybe, let me see that if I say that Lollipop. So if I just go to the latest one, that is the Android 10, so look at that. This particular specific thing is changing. You say that your app will run only on less than 1% of devices, but if I go back to the 8, then it say that 60% of the Android devices can run your application, because 60% of the devices are running at least the Windows 8 or the above. Okay, not the Windows 8, so Android 8, Android version 8, not the Windows. So Android version 8 or above. So if I just go back to what you can say that the Lollipop, so you can say that 94.1% devices can run your application. But if you are using some very latest features which are not present in the older version, then definitely you need to select that particular specific minimum SDK support to a later version which is supporting all your latest features. Otherwise but definitely if you go back, then that maybe it will be 100% devices can run your application. But this is where you need to select what is the minimum version of the Android operating system that your application should run on. Okay, so this is the minimum SDK, and then you can say that you want to have the legacy, you don't want, and then you click on the finish. When you click on the finish, okay, by default it will create one activity, the empty activity that we have selected in the beginning, and it will name it as a main activity. Okay, so let it finish. It is still working on. If you look at that at the bottom, that particular specific status bar, it is still working on. It's still doing that particular specific setup thing, indexing all those things and so on. Here you can see that it is showing you some what is new in that for Android Studio 4, but of course we don't need that particular specific thing. Still working, and remember that still working. If it is you are seeing something like this, it is still working. You can always see that particular specific status bar that it is still working on and trying to finalize your application. So if you look at that again, main activity.java, so this is the main activity class which automatically generated. In the beginning we select the empty activity, so that activity's template is being used and it create that particular main activity for us. So let it finish and then we will be discussing more about. So we have a main activity.java, and then we also have an activity underscore main.xml file. What is that XML file? So let me see, let me copy that particular specific I want to copy this one because I just don't want to run that particular specific application. For me, I want to come back to my Android Mac Android Studio and start a new project. Again, we need to select the empty activity, then we can click next, then we can say that here I want to have that particular specific our first app. So we are just saying that this is our first app, and we are in the 2020 lectures week 01, our first app. Fine. So we want to develop with the Java minimum SDK, and then we click finish. Once we click finish, so it will create that particular specific application for me. Okay, so let me see that it's still working on in my Windows virtual machine. It is showing me that something. Of course, it is trying to create that one. It is again, look at that, it is working. It's trying to build that particular specific application. I created that particular application inside my Mac so that I can show you that how we can run it as well, because we cannot run in our virtual machine. The reason is that that particular virtual device is not working over there. The reason is that it's already a virtual machine within a host operating system, so it does not allow me to virtualize over there. Virtualization inside virtualization, so that's a nested virtualization that I was trying to do, but it is not working. So it's still working. Now on the other hand, if we look at our what you can say that if we look at our project here in the Mac, it is already done. The reason is that it's not more. So if we look at that, we have, this is our project. This is our project app, and inside we have multiple parts. The first part is the manifest. Android manifest is an application setting file. For example, it is telling that what is the package of that particular specific application. First app. So this is the package name. It is using the Android resources, and then we are saying that application backup. Do you want to backup that particular application? What will be the icon of this one? What will be the label of that particular specific? This is the name that appear in your Android virtual device, and what will be the round icon for that one. And here, if you look at that, we have that particular specific activity, which is the main activity, that automatically generated based on our template that we have selected in our first, when we could start creating the project. So it is an empty, and here we have the intent filter, which is telling that particular specific system that whenever you are running this particular application, this will be the activity, this will be the screen that will be shown on the screen by default. That will be the starting activity of the application. This is the main activity.java. Here we can see that we have the application, the code file, and this one is the visual design. So when we are creating an activity, it has two parts. One is the visual design, how it look like. Okay, right now if I just try to remove that one, so it look like there's only one text view here. Right in the middle, you can see that we have a constraint layout here. That layout is representing the complete screen, and inside that layout we have a text view, and that text view is there. So if I just try to, we can select whichever Android virtual device we want to run on it. So I select this one, and then as I click that particular specific green button, so when we run that particular specific green button, it will execute that particular specific application on my machine, on my virtual Android virtual device. So it is in the process. If you look at that, it is building the Gradle running, Gradle build running, installing that particular application on the screen, and then running that application. So that status will change. So automatically you can see that this particular, our first app, that is the name which is coming from our Android Studio. Okay, Android manifest file, that is one, our first app, that the label, it is also there. And if I can just show you one more thing, our first app, we need to find out that one. Our first app. So you can, if I just try to minimize that, so you can see that this our first app, this is the place, I mean it is at the same app. So that will be shown in your when it is that particular specific application installed, this particular specific our first app is shown, and the name of the application, and the icon is coming from our resource folder. What is a resource folder, I will tell you a little bit later, but this is what that particular application is running. The application design, this one, that particular specific design is the coming as a by default. Okay, we can change that particular default design, and then automatically the design in that particular application running in our Android virtual device going to change it. How? Let me see. Okay, how we can change that particular design. Of course, right now we are just looking at the first application, so we will be talking more in the next week that how we can design, how we can do the things. Let me we have on the right side, this is a design view of your XML file, activity XML file. This is a design view for your designing the screen. Here we have certain what you can say, that certain widgets that we can just simply click and drag, and they will appear on our screen. We have the image view. In the image view, maybe I can say that I want to just select that particular background, and you can see that this particular image view is coming up here. We can select that particular specific property. Let me drag that particular specific what you can say that there, so that we can see it. We can also have some switch. Again, we need to click and drag. We can also have a scroll view. We have a button. We can also have different type of buttons. For example, I say that I want to have a chin. Okay, say that you want to add that dependency, because that these, I mean, if you see something like this down arrow over there against them, some specific widgets or the UI components, it means that these dependencies are not by default added in your Android project. And if you want to use them, you need to first add those dependency, and then you can use it. How we can do that, we will be talking it little later, not now. Again, I say that I want to have a password screen. It's a text view, but password, you know that when you are giving the password, it does not show you the text itself what you're putting in. So here I have just added a few. I didn't do any kind of a rocket science. I just click and drag and drop different UI components within our screen, and then I say that I want to stop the previously running version of my application, and I want to run it again. So when I run it again, of course it has stopped, so it is not showing me up over there. And now you can see that. Okay, where is my so we have hello world. I don't see that the same. We have a button over there, but we don't see anything else. Okay, so there are some, you know, what you can say that these are the things here. So this is the one way. I will show you that quickly. We have different layouts. What are those different layouts? What are different widgets? We will be talking next week, but right now I will just show you. This is the design view. This is the code view. Totally different. Okay, so it is like just like an XML file, and here you can add the things, here you can delete the things, and this is a split view where you can see that. So let me quickly change that particular specific thing. So I say that I don't want to use the linear layout. Instead of what I say that I select that one and I type capital LINEAR. So it showed me that particular specific linear layout. When I select that one and press enter, it will change the closing tag as well. If I just show you all these things, let me what you can say that grab all those things and delete them. So you can see that we have a linear layout, starting tag. It has some properties that we have set over there. What are those? We will be talking later on, but not now. And then we have a linear layout. So opening tag, closing tag. And here inside that particular specific opening and closing tag, within that linear layout, I am saying that I want to add a text view. Okay, so I say that wrap content. It means that the size of this particular specific text view based on the text that will be inside that one. For example, our first app text view checking. So according to that particular specific text size, it is changing the size. The size of that particular text view is changing. We can also say that I want to have that particular size, text size should be 30 sp, it become a bigger one, and so on. So we have that one, and then we can say that we want to have that particular button over there. So we say that wrap content, and then we can say that text, what text we want to show our first button. And then we say one more thing that I want to change in the properties of the linear layout. I say that orientation is vertical. By default it is horizontal. That particular, if it is let me show you, when I remove that one, you don't see that particular specific button. It is inside the layout, but it's actually out of that particular specific. It is here, it is there, but out of that particular specific screen on the right side. So we can't see it. So that's why I changed that particular specific layout to the vertical one. It means instead of putting that particular button on the right of the this text view, it is putting it below that particular text view. In this way we can see it. Okay, so we can also put some image view here, image view, wrap content, and then we have a source. We say that primary dark accent. So what was that? We have the ABC vector foreground. Yeah, so let me see. I mean, we are just saying that which picture you want to show it here. So it is showing me something like this. So I'm just saying that it is there. So if I just try to run that particular application again, you will see that particular same image that is here. It is showing up here. So it is because in the constraint layout we have a specific way to show those things over there. So that's why it was not looking exactly as it was. So this is how we can run the applications in our Android virtual device. So let me come back to our project. So we have a project structure. So first thing is the manifest file. That manifest file is actually the settings file for your project, and whenever you install your application inside the Android Visual Studio, it will look at that particular specific Android manifest file and set the settings for your project. And then the second one is the Java. Here the Java code file. The Java code file I showed you in the beginning, that's main activity.java. It is there, and you are doing these things here. So whenever you want to write some code, for example, when the user click on that particular specific button, what operation we want to perform, we need to write those user interactions and their responses inside that particular Java code. XML file is more for the designing how your activity or the screen will look like, and so that is the Java. This is the Java. These are the auto-generated files. So we are not much concerned about that one. So we are saying that manifest file. We have a code file where we are going to write our Java code, and at the end we have a resource. Inside the resource we have multiple things. We have drawables. Drawables mean that whenever you want to add a picture here, then you need to put it here. For example, I have my picture here. Where is that one? So let me bring up okay. Let me quickly bring up a new screen where I have my picture, Google Drive. So you can say that this is where we have. I'm just copy that particular specific copy this particular specific image file, okay, and then I can right click on that particular specific drawable folder, and then I say that I want to paste it. So the only thing that I need to make sure that I am not using okay, let me say that Abbas 01. So and I say click OK, so it is added that one. So when I just try to stop that particular specific thing, and then I say that I want to use that particular image as my what you can say that inside that particular specific image view. So we see the drawable Abbas, it does not show me. Why? The reason is that, let me say Control Z. When I just try to run that application, it will give me a error message. And what is that? A is not a valid file name. I mean, I'm giving that particular specific capital A as the name of that resource file, which is our image file. Whenever all the images go into a drawable folder, images, only the images, remember that, drawable images only. So we cannot, this is a resource file which is inside the drawable folder or drawable resource folder. So we cannot start the resource file name with a number, or it cannot have a space in between it, and it cannot have the capital letter. So if I just right click on that particular specific file and then say that go to the refactor and rename, and then I say that instead of capital A I say small, and now if I just try to run that particular application, it will show me no error at all, and it is going to run that particular application without any issue. Okay, so because it does not accept that particular specific, let me close it, and then right now if I just try to change that particular specific Abbas, so now you can see that it is showing me as a resource inside my project. So now I can see my picture over there. Now if I just try to run it again, stop and run again, so you can see that particular specific view. So these are the resource folders within our project. We have a drawable resource folder where you can put all your pictures or images. We also have a layout resource folder where these XML files which are actually defining your activity user interface design, they will go there. We also have the bitmap, that is more like the icons that are being created. You can change that particular specific icon as well, and then at the end we also have some values. So these are the values, these are the style values, what will be the theme or the style of your application. We also have the string, that's the application name, and we are using that particular string resource inside our Android manifest file. And it said, look at that, it says that label is at the rate of string. It means we are saying that that particular specific string value is going to come from a string resource, and the name of that string resource is app underscore name. So it is coming from here, that our first app. How we can add more strings if we want. We add more resources if we want. We also have defined some colors here. So all these are different resources. We are giving some specific color, some specific name, primary color, so we can use those things inside our GUI design. So we have values, we have layout resources, we have drawable resources. We can add more resources over here, but right now it's not the appropriate place. We will see that how we can add more appropriate resources, like if we want to add audios inside our project. So if we look at our project, we have manifest files, we have Java code files, and then we have the resource files. And the last part here is the Gradle. Okay, so here we have two types, project one or the module one. So we are mostly working with that particular if you look at the project one, so you can see that what are different repositories like Google or GS Center, what is the path of that particular specific dependency, and so on. So these are the things which we are not working with them. What we are more interested is this one at the application level, module app. So here you have certain specific things. We have a plugin. We can add, if we want to add more plugin, then we will write that particular line here, apply plugin, and then whichever that plugin we want to have. What will the compile SDK version? It means, remember that we have the compilation version, we default SDK is 29, so that we have downloaded. So if it is there, so this is the compilation version. We are compiling that particular specific project using the SDK version 29. Okay, and then we also, what is the application ID? That is the package name that we have given in the when we created that particular specific project. What is the minimum SDK, minimum version of the SDK that is supported by this application? What is the target version? We can target it to 30 as well if you want. What is the version code? If we are making the second version, we can change that particular version code here. Okay, and then we also have some other properties, and here we have dependencies. Remember that when I say that this particular specific XML file, and if I just go back to my design view, in the design view we have certain specific widgets which are actually having a down arrow here. So if I just click on that, actually it will add that particular specific dependency inside my here inside the head. So if you want to add the dependency of different you can say that the libraries or the dependencies, you can simply say here implement, and then you can give a string value for that particular specific. So here you can add as much dependencies that or libraries that you want to use within your project. So let me go back to this one. So if I want to use the recycler view, or I want to use that particular chip or the chip group, or we want to use the floating button. Okay, so all these are not there by default. So if we want to add them, I mean, if I click over here, for example, let me click over here. It says that you want to add that particular specific dependency. So let me cancel it first and then show you that we have only how many dependencies we have. 1, 2, 3. We also have some test implementation, Android implementation. These are the test one, and then we have 3 implementation or the dependencies that we have added here. So if I just click on that one and then say that yes, I want to add that particular dependency. So now if we go back to our Gradle, so you can see that now we have the 4 dependencies. That is the material one that is coming from has been added here. So you can see we can add by typing that by ourselves, or we can simply click on those links, visual effects, and then that particular dependency will be added into our system, into our project. Okay, so what else about the project? Yeah, these are the things that we need to look. Gradle, where we want to add different dependencies based on our requirement. We have drawable resources, layout resources, value resources, and if you want to change the icon, then you need to change the icon of icon resources here, so that in the Android system your icon for your application will be changed. We also have the Java code files which are here. We also have this, if you look at that one, so we have Android test or test, but definitely we are more working here. We are not going to touch these tests or something. First of all, we need to understand how we can build, and then later on we will see that how we can test, automatic testing for the application. And then we also have a manifest file which is actually representing the settings of your project. So that is the practical demonstration for this particular specific week. So what now you will do all those things in the in the class, and see you on Monday. Have a good day. Bye.